Liam finds himself in the body of a young man from a family on the brink of collapse, and he decides to explore his dream of learning magic, only to discover that his newfound passion may change both his fate and that of his family forever. Our story begins with a boy waking up to find himself seated at a grand dining table during a lavish celebration. He is bewildered, wondering where he is and why he is there, as the last thing he remembers before falling asleep was being at his work desk. When he looks into a mirror, he screams in shock. His face has changed, and he now appears as a young child. Next, we see Count Hamilton, who instructs him to behave properly, addressing him as Liam, the fifth son of the Hamilton family. The boy then realizes that this Count is his father and that he has been transported to another world, taking on the identity of Liam. A maid informs him that the Count is in a good mood today because he has finally been blessed with a daughter after having only sons. The following morning, Liam wakes up and the maid brings him his clothes. Liam reveals to us that the owner of this body is named Liam Hamilton, the fifth son of the Count, but he has no idea why this has happened to him. We then see Liam sitting with his older brother, Bruno, the fourth son of the family. Bruno tells Liam that their family is on the brink of ruin because this is the natural cycle dictated by the kingdom. Families either achieve great accomplishments or lose their status after 3 generations. If their father does not allow their eldest brother to inherit the title, their family will become commoners. Their teacher enters the room to begin their lesson for the day, which is about magic. Liam becomes very excited, much to Bruno's surprise. Bruno questions Liam's enthusiasm, explaining that only 1 out of every 100 people possesses magical talent. After the lesson, Liam rushes to the library, grabs a book on magic, and tries using magic. To his astonishment, he succeeds. Liam then takes several books on magic from the library and starts studying magic diligently day after day. A month later, we see Liam in the forest with his brother. Liam casts a magic spell, surprising his brother, who is astonished that Liam managed to learn magic in just 1 month. When Bruno tries to use magic himself, he fails. Liam realizes that his body must have had magical talent all along, and if he can master magic, he will secure a place for himself in the kingdom. Liam returns home and decides to advance to learning ice magic, but his father appears and requests to see his magical abilities. Liam demonstrates his ice magic on a book, but admits he is still a beginner in ice magic. He proudly shows his fire magic skills instead. His father is amazed that Liam mastered fire magic in just 1 month and becomes very pleased. He tells Liam to take any magic books he desires from the library. Shortly after, a guard whispers something to the Count, who then orders his soldiers to gather immediately. As Liam walks outside, he sees a boy named Raymond sitting under a tree. Raymond asks Liam if he is indeed one of the Hamilton family members. When Liam confirms, Raymond cryptically tells him to do whatever he pleases. Liam is puzzled by his words and asks what exactly he means. Raymond initially assumes Liam has come to capture him, but Liam, unaware of anything, explains that he's just a child. When Raymond notices the magic book in Liam's hand, he realizes Liam is learning basic magic. Raymond advises Liam that the best way to learn magic is through consistent and regular practice. Liam responds that he knows this, which is why he was on his way to train. Raymond, wanting to teach Liam a better and more effective way to use magic, demonstrates by channeling 5 elements of magic simultaneously in one hand. Liam is astonished by this feat and eagerly agrees to be trained by Raymond, who notes that Liam lacks the meaningless pride typical of most nobles. Raymond starts by asking Liam to draw a circle with his left hand and a square with his right hand simultaneously. Liam successfully does this. Raymond explains that magic works similarly. He must use different spells with each hand. Liam tries this and manages to cast 2 types of magic at the same time. Raymond is impressed because this technique, known as the enigma, can only be mastered by 1 in a million people. Raymond then trains Liam to use 3 types of magic simultaneously. Liam succeeds briefly but quickly runs out of magical energy. Thinking he failed, Liam is reassured by Raymond, who explains that the technique consumed too much energy, and Liam's success was already a significant achievement. To help Liam control his magical energy better, Raymond asks him to sit on the ground and draws prime numbers in front of him. When Liam reads the numbers, Raymond explains that the technique relies on prime numbers because using sequential numbers could cause problems with even and odd transitions, like moving from 4 to 6 or 9. After some practice, Raymond asks Liam about his age. Liam replies that he is 12 years old. Raymond tells him he has a bright future and that his ability to listen to advice is a great weapon. When Raymond asks if Liam wants to learn more magic, Liam eagerly agrees. Raymond then gives him a magical ring, explaining that it contains the equivalent of 100 magic books. Liam is thrilled and puts on the ring, instantly feeling over 300 spells flowing into his mind. Raymond asks Liam to try casting a spell. Liam uses the wind bullet spell and succeeds. However, when Liam turns to talk to Raymond, he finds him gone. Just then, Liam's maid arrives, bringing him his magic book. She warns him about the dangers of being out here alone and gives him the book, stating that his father instructed her to deliver it. She then urges Liam to return to the castle quickly before walking away. Raymond reappears, explaining that he concealed himself using magic to avoid being seen. He advises Liam not to stay here any longer, but offers to teach him one final lesson. He asks Liam to open the book the maid brought. Inside, Liam finds a summoning spell for Salamander, a low-level fire spirit. Raymond instructs Liam to try casting this spell while wearing the ring. Liam places his hands on the magic book, and from it emerges a small creature. The man speaks to Liam, explaining that the book's magical contents should be seen as a notebook with blank pages, while the ring itself is not extraordinary but merely a tool to save him the burden of carrying the book. Liam, however, tells him he cannot accept such a valuable gift as the book is incredibly useful. Placing his hands on the book again, Liam summons various creatures and people, delighting in his success. The mentor disappears once more, prompting Liam to ask, "Did you use that concealment spell again?" The mentor replies, "Keep studying magic. We'll meet again someday, but don't tell anyone about me." Liam reflects, thinking to himself, "We spent such a short time together and I don't even know his name, but that man is my teacher." About a month after his teacher's departure, in the same training spot, Liam demonstrates significant progress in magic. Bruno approaches him, asking what he is doing. Liam explains about white charcoal, noting that it burns hotter than regular wood charcoal, produces no smoke, and lasts longer. Bruno is impressed and inquires how Liam managed it. Liam reveals he made it using magic. Bruno also notices something else and asks, "Are these liquor crystals? They can restore consumed magical energy? Did you make these using magic as well?" Liam nods, explaining that it was challenging at first since it required the simultaneous use of 5 types of magic. Bruno is astonished, acknowledging Liam's exceptional abilities. He reassures Liam, saying, "You'll be fine on your own in the future. I'm planning to marry into a lower-ranked but devout noble family. They're poorer than the Hamiltons, but I'll gain more freedom that way." Bruno shares more family history, revealing that after Liam's birth, their father desperately wanted a daughter to marry into the royal family to secure their noble standing. However, Liam was born as another son. Their father then sent 1,000 soldiers to defeat a powerful sealed beast on their land, hoping for glory. Unfortunately, the soldiers suffered a devastating loss, with 90% perishing. Bruno candidly admits that the Hamilton family's noble status is nearing its end and advises Liam to think about achieving independence. Liam thanks his brother for his honesty. After Bruno leaves, Liam contemplates securing funds for his independence. He decides he wants something with greater profit potential. While exploring, he eats at a local shop and is amazed by the food. The shopkeeper explains that pasta is very popular in the city. Inspired, Liam takes some pasta back to the castle and asks the maid to try it. Following his instructions, she pours hot water on it, and everyone is amazed by its flavor. The chef declares it delicious, even though it is preserved food. The scene shifts to Liam negotiating with a merchant. The merchant refuses to trade the goods, stating that only Liam's eldest brother, Sir Brevet, has the authority to conduct business on Hamilton land without permission. Frustrated, Liam vows not to let his brother monopolize their lands. He regrets not knowing about this law earlier and doubts his father will grant him the permission he needs to fund his independence. Determined, Liam heads to the forest. He explains a storage spell he learned from a magic encyclopedia, a useful spell that compresses items into a small storage space. Initially, the stored items vanished when the spell dissipated, but after a month of practice, Liam perfected it. He then successfully summons a magical clone of himself, celebrating his progress. Liam sends the clone to the city, where it uses magic to create and sell various inventions. The money earned goes toward funding Liam's independence. The episode begins with Liam, now a bit older, still training to use magic. He has gained precise control over it, and at this time, his older brother Albrevet comes to him, mentioning that he has heard about how impressive Liam has become lately, as everyone is talking about his magical skills. He then asks Liam what he wants to become in the future, and Liam realizes that Albrevet is worried that Liam might replace him as the heir, since he eldest son of the Hamilton family and the future head of the family. Liam responds by saying that he would like to resign soon, if possible, and find a job that allows him to support himself. Albrevet then tells him about the Hunters Guild, where he can join. Liam goes to the guild to join, but when he enters, everyone is surprised to see him, as he is just a child. They mock him, saying that this place isn't for kids and that he should go to his father. But Liam ignores them and continues on his way to the president. When the president sees him, he recognizes him and asks him to take a test, since they can't send him to a place beyond his abilities, which could lead to his death. The president then asks Liam to cast an offensive spell he is skilled in, and even though Liam can't use his full power, he uses an illusion spell. The spell amazes everyone as they have never seen such a high-level magic before. The president then tells him that he will grant him a rank B license. Liam leaves the guild, not understanding the importance of the rank B license. At that moment, a female adventurer named Asuna calls out to him, asking if they can hunt together, as hunting is very dangerous and working in a team is much safer. Liam agrees, as he likes cheerful people like Asuna. While they are walking in the forest, Liam asks her why they don't take any missions, and she explains that usually only those ranked A and above can take hunting jobs. At that moment, a pack of huge wolves appears, and Liam casts his gnome spell, summoning strange creatures that defeat the wolves. They then return to the guild with the defeated monsters. When the president sees them, he decides to hire them for a task, as they are very strong. Indeed, they are given the task and head to the forest, excited because this is their first job, meaning their strength has been recognized. They are tasked with hunting a giant larva, and Asuna is scared because she doesn't know how to deal with such a monster. These creatures have magical stones inside their bodies, and sometimes they use magic or advanced combat techniques, making them much more dangerous than ordinary beasts. At this moment, Liam decides not to use his illusion magic today, as he wants all his resources to be available. They try to hunt the giant larva using various methods, but it's too tough and no spells seem to work on it. Then an idea comes to Liam. He plans to have Asuna distract the larva, making it chase her while Liam will drop a large box on it. This strategy succeeds, and they manage to kill the larva. They return to the guild with 2 larvae, the second of which Liam found by quickly using a spell to detect enemies. The president is once again amazed by their strength and increases their reward 5-fold, which makes them very happy. Later, a significant person named James Stanley arrives at the guild and requests to meet Liam. When they sit together, James welcomes him and tells him that he's the 5th son of Raymond. James then asks about Liam's connection to Raymond, as the ring on Liam's finger belongs to Raymond. Liam doesn't know what he's talking about, so James explains that Raymond had given him the ring. James laughs, saying that Raymond often sneaks into the most dangerous places. James then speaks to Simon and orders him to stand in a corner. He asks Liam to cast his strongest offensive spell on Simon because he wants to see the full extent of Liam's strength. Liam thinks about using chants, as he has researched them and learned that they temporarily raise the maximum limit of his magic power. Suddenly, he casts the spell on Simon, and James is amazed by the power. He tells Liam that he should become independent in the future and will grant him the title of knight. Liam agrees, though he will stay with his family until he reaches adulthood. Afterward, Liam performs the ritual and officially becomes a knight, with James giving him a powerful sword. James then tells him that there is nothing specific he must do. He mentions that escaping from his brother's hostility will be a big challenge, and his father might feel conflicted as he hoped to use Liam's power for the family. Liam reflects on this, and James tells him that he can help in various ways, as his accomplishments will reflect back on his family. James then asks Liam if he has ever felt like Raymond tricked him. Liam recalls a time when he was training a spell for a storage box and ended up absorbing all the water from a lake. Raymond had sent him a message saying he had mastered the spell and wouldn't collect gold ingots, so he scattered gold dust into the lake instead. The scene continues with the message from Liam's mentor explaining that the gold dust in the lake was just a disguise for his graduation gift. The real gift is something hidden nearby, a treasure not immediately obvious. This is the true graduation gift. Later, we see Liam in the forest where he uses his storage box spell to absorb all the water from the lake. He mixes in the gold dust, telling himself that it's no different from leaving the gold ingots in the lake. He then opens the box, descending into it, and reads a message from his mentor, which explains that the true gift is a powerful magical book, something his mentor could not use, but hopes Liam can. The book contains a spell for creating a space in another world, one that expands according to the user's magical ability. No one can enter without the user's permission, and the items inside will not disappear once the spell is fully mastered. This spell is similar to the storage box, but it allows living creatures, including humans, to enter. Liam is excited and wonders if he could even build a secret magical house in this new world. He thanks his mentor and is eager to train with the new spell. A month later, we see Liam and Asuna in the forest battling a monster using his magic. Afterward, Liam uses the new spell to create a barrier and protect them from a spell the monster cast. They defeat the monster, and as they return to the guild with the magical stone, the man there recognizes it as a rank item from a giant frog. He remarks that they should have struggled more, but thanks them for what they've done. Asuna, feeling the need to become stronger, expresses her concern that Liam will leave her behind. The man explains that she could become his follower through a contract which would increase her strength to protect her master. Asuna asks Liam if they can make such a contract, confident that he won't do anything strange, and Liam agrees. The man activates the contract between them, making him the witness. Asuna gains a new skill called Accelerator. Liam explains that this is the power of a follower's contract and expresses his desire to conduct more research. However, for that, they need an experimental sample, which may be done willingly or unwillingly. Next, the scene shifts to a house where Asuna introduces Liam to Judy, an experienced hunter who helps them with various tasks. Judy understands what's going on and agrees to help them, assuming they found someone special. Asuna recommends Judy as a great ally in battle. Afterward, they go to the guild and make a contract with Judy, who has a unique skill. They ask her about it, and she tells them to wait for a moment. We see Judy preparing sandwiches, which she takes to a wounded man, offering him a meal. After eating, the man says his wounds have completely healed. Judy comments that her cooking seems to heal wounds, and everyone is amazed by this unexpected ability. A few days later, at James' palace, Liam says that the first princess of the kingdom of Jamil, Princess Scarlet, is coming. He informs James that she is aware of his achievements. You have completed rank and missions in the Hunters Guild at the age of 12. You are a magician capable of casting up to 11 spells simultaneously, and you are an expert able to develop and strengthen your followers. Princess Scarlet is particularly interested in you, especially in your followers. You need to explain this to her. Liam refuses, saying that his followers are his friends, not for display, and they cannot simply obey his commands. He adds that he doesn't want to ask them to do anything. James, irritated, responds, "We are talking about the princess here," and orders Liam to leave. Later, we see the princess disguised as a maid. James apologizes to her, but she tells him, "It's not your fault, but don't speak to me like that." The episode ends with Liam leaving, and the narrator invites viewers to stay tuned for the next episodes. The video encourages viewers to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to receive updates on new content. The episode begins with Liam visiting Princess Scarlet Sherry in her castle. She requests that he tell her how he managed to defeat the flesh-eating larva and the giant frog. Liam recounts his actions, and she responds with surprise, saying it's the first time she's heard of someone defeating a giant frog without using high-level magic. She explains that the usual tactic is to eliminate them quickly with advanced magic. Liam expresses his desire to one day use such magic, mentioning that he's unsure of his own power. The princess then asks him about the contracts of his followers, wanting him to reveal them to her. Liam feels pressured and refuses, explaining that he cannot do so, as he won't allow his friends to be used as a spectacle. The princess laughs, remarking that she's never met someone like him before, and declares that he deserves a reward for his actions. She then bestows upon him the title of Baron, leaving Liam shocked because he doesn't feel he's achieved anything worthy of such a rank. She responds that his words amuse her, and she's very happy to have met him, adding that this is far better than marrying him. The princess gives Liam a familiar book, a magical book used for forming contracts with followers. Liam is thrilled and eager to read it. He heads to the forest with the book to study it, knowing that his contracts will be nullified if he leaves the magical book behind before mastering its magic. At this moment, his brother Bruno appears to congratulate him on his reward. Bruno remarks that their brother Albrevet must be very upset now, as Liam has surpassed their father in rank. Liam is surprised, considering himself just a baron. Bruno explains that in their nation, nobles are divided into generations. The first generation achieves something on their own, while the second generation inherits their positions. Naturally, those who accomplish things themselves are more admired. Later that night, Liam is wandering around his home, reflecting on his new status above his father's rank. He encounters his brother Albrevet, who doesn't speak to him. Albrevet is visibly furious, thinking to himself how absurd it is that Liam, the fifth and least significant son, is now a baron. As he walks, Albrevet overhears two maids talking about Liam's recent achievements. Enraged, he orders them to resign and go work for the baron if they think he's so great. The maids apologize, and when Albrevet demands to know who they think is more accomplished, himself or Liam, they nervously reply that it's him. Satisfied, he leaves, determined to accomplish something that will make everyone talk about him instead. The next morning, we see Liam sitting with Judy and Asuna. Judy tells Liam that she wants to work with him forever because he's her master. Liam asks her to drop the title master and just call him by his name. The girls are delighted, noting that he acts like a noble despite being so young. Liam then asks if they are willing to stay with him in his group, and they both enthusiastically agree. Liam takes Judy, Asuna, and the others to a large training field. Asuna runs with all her strength, striking a monster and immediately killing it. Liam compliments her, noting that her movements have improved significantly. Judy then mentions that her vision has also improved a lot. Liam doesn't fully understand what she means, so Judy explains that for a marksman, vision is the most important thing. You can't hit something, you can't something. Liam then uses his power to enhance Judy's vision, allowing her to see from very far away. Asuna asks him how he did it, and Liam explains that he enhanced her eyesight. Judy asks him to do the same for her, but Liam refuses, explaining that he can't enhance her offensive power. It would only add strain to her body, just like how people break their bones when they crash into something. He reassures her that enhancing her vision is fine, though. Judy then tests the new ability and successfully takes out a distant target with a single shot. She thanks Liam profusely. Afterward, they return to the guild only to find it in chaos. When Liam enters to see what's happening, someone tells him that the eldest son of Hamilton caused a great deal of disorder after failing miserably at removing a seal. This reminds Liam of his brother, who had passed by without speaking to him earlier. Liam rushes to the forest to see what's going on and finds many guards lying in pools of their own blood, including his brother Albrivet. He calls out to him, and when he approaches, Albrivet tells him that he didn't do it, and that he didn't want to fail here. The guild leader strikes Albrivet on the head, knocking him unconscious, and orders the guards to take him back to the city. He then tells Liam about a wicked dragon named Rodden that had been sealed inside the forest by Liam's grandfather, but the seal has now been broken. Liam realizes this is the dragon his brother Bruno mentioned earlier. The guild leader explains that they had gathered guards and adventurers to reseal the dragon, but they face a problem. Radon's young offspring, known as Radon's children, are causing the chaos. Liam is shocked to learn that it was the dragon's children who caused all this destruction, meaning the dragon itself must be far stronger. The guild leader continues, explaining that the dragon had been sealed away for a long time, and it will take about a week for it to regain its full strength. They need to reseal it before it wakes up. Just then, Radon's children appear and attack some of the adventurers. Liam observes that they are only the size of medium-sized dogs. Asuna decides to try facing them, running at them in an attempt to dodge their attacks. During the encounter, Liam uses his power to strike them, but nothing happens to the creatures. With no other choice, the adventurers are forced to retreat. Liam thinks to himself that the monsters are stronger than he anticipated, and there are 3 of them. He asks Asuna to take Judy and escape, then uses his magic to banish the monsters into a magical box. He's happy that it worked successfully. The Duke praises him, saying that he defeated the monsters on his own and killed all 3. Later, we see the mages using their magic on the dragon. Asuna and Judy come to check on Liam, and he explains to them that he used a spell called Otherworld, which creates a separate space by chanting. Living creatures can enter this space, and Judy asks if that means the dragons are trapped inside. Liam assures her not to worry, explaining that since he hasn't fully mastered the spell yet, everything inside disappears every time. Asuna marvels at him, saying the spell isn't offensive, but he thought of using it in this way. Suddenly, the dragon speaks, surprising everyone. It says to Liam, "The term evil dragon is what humans call me. I don't bother with human standards. After a few centuries, they'll call me something else." The dragon seems to read Liam's thoughts and adds, "It looks like your life will be interesting. Will you take me with you? I want to see your life. I won't harm you. In fact, I'll help you, but it will be based on the foundation you've built with your own efforts." The dragon then tells Liam that it wants to take his power, saying, "I don't feel any hostility from you. In fact, you remind me of my teacher." The dragon enters Liam's body, and a dragon mark appears on his hand. The old man, surprised, explains that the evil dragon has absorbed into Liam. Liam feels the dragon's power coursing through his body and tries out his magic, finding that it has become incredibly powerful. The old man thanks Liam, saying that he saved them from the dragon. Liam responds that it's his fault for causing them trouble with the overwhelming mana he's been emitting. He then gives the old man and the others a box of supplies, which contains 10 kilograms of gold, telling them to consider it a disturbance tax. He asks them to distribute it, prioritizing the injured and those facing long recovery periods. The old man is impressed and comments, "If only you were the head of the Hamilton family instead of Albrivet." That night, Liam's father talks to him, saying, "A catastrophe would have occurred if not for your intervention. Thank you for cleaning up Albrivet's mess. I will keep him at home for a while. He's under house arrest for now." Liam thinks to himself that the guild leader mentioned that Albrivet might be disinherited in the worst-case scenario. His father continues, "Lord James is here in the city. Eventually, word of this will reach the kingdom, and someone will come to reward you." Later, Liam stands in front of his brother's room, thinking that he is partly responsible for Albrivet's reckless actions. He overhears his brother, furious, muttering to himself, "I can't believe Liam managed to defeat the evil dragon. I was supposed to do that." Liam hesitates at the door, wanting to enter, but hears his brother's words, "I only wanted to protect the Hamilton family." Feeling conflicted, Liam leaves and heads to his own room, pondering, "I had a strange dream, but I clearly remember it when I woke up. I was practicing magic," and he's excited to discover that he has new spells. The next day, Liam runs through the forest, trying out his magic. I feel like I'm in another world. I should be able to use this once I've trained enough. He thinks. He successfully casts the spell, summoning a dragon that tells him will be very useful in battle once you master this spell. Just then, the princess arrives, and the dragon disappears quickly. She's astonished to see that Liam is able to use holy magic, especially since it's just a child. She explains, I came to see you on behalf of Hamilton. I asked your father to deliver a message. Defeating the evil dragon is a great achievement, but the elders won't allow me to give you a title higher than Baron since you don't have land. So I'll award you the 3rd class Medal of Honor. People need to know the truth of the dragon's defeat and that there's a hero. They'll ask how you defeated the evil dragon, and I may need to announce your title depending on how you did it. Liam is taken aback, but the princess insists you've certainly mastered holy magic, there's no doubt about it. The next day, the princess's followers appear with 3,000 gold coins. Liam realizes that she did this so that no one would speak ill of him. Everyone is amazed by the amount of gold, commenting, we've never seen this many gold coins before. And with that, today's episode ends. Stay tuned for the next episodes. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for all the latest updates. Our episode kicks off with Liam and Mr. James. Mr. James is straight up asking him if he really used magic or not. But Liam's like, I can't really answer that, cause the princess paid him to keep it hush-hush. But then the prince insists, spill the beans, tell the truth. Cause defeating that dragon ain't no walk in the park. According to reports, the massive dragon turned into a light and entered your body, and everyone saw it happen. So Liam's over here checking every inch of his body, staying quiet for a minute. Then he finally says, yeah, I learned some spells. I've been using magic. He then shows off a powerful spell, saying it can remove poison and petrification. He's like, this kind of magic is top tier, everyone's after it. Mr. James asks him if he's ever heard of the 3 Dragon Wars, and Liam's like, no clue. So then the other guy explains there were 3 dragons, they fought each other once. One of them survived and took over after defeating the other 2. It's said that he used magic to establish a country, our country. Then Mr. James asks, what do you think happens when a dragon joins with a human? And Liam's like, well, maybe they got married and had kids. But nope, the truth's way crazier. Mr. James hits him with a straight-up question. Didn't you join with a dragon, Liam? And Liam's like, wait, what? He's totally caught off guard, but then he realizes he's right. That dragon entered my body, we became one. So yeah, joining is basically merging together. This means Liam has the power to reshape and rebuild the country thanks to his newfound abilities. But he's got some cracks to figure out. First, like the Hamilton family, especially his dad, they earned their noble title by locking up the so-called evil dragon, but in reality, the dragon wasn't evil at all. They were tricking people, and the family ended up losing everything, but there's an even bigger problem. If that dragon's angry and wants revenge on our country, it could destroy everything. After all, he was wrongfully imprisoned. Liam reassures him, though, saying the dragon isn't mad. It actually told me before it entered my body. It seemed more interested in my life than anything. So, turns out the dragon actually saved our country without anyone realizing it. Pretty huge achievement, right? Mr. James is thrilled to hear this, totally pumped about it. After that, Liam walks off, talking to himself. He's thinking about how long casting spells take, and he realizes he needs to start casting them earlier. He also figures that shooting blank spells is a good way to practice. So as he walks through the city, he finally meets up with his 2 friends. They're like, hurry up, let's go. People are lining up to join your group now that you've defeated the evil dragon. So Liam gets handed a massive list of applicants, and he's totally shocked by how many there are. It turns out people are just trying to cash in on his success. After that, he heads back home and is hit with even more paperwork. The maid tells him it's a list of potential wives. Right then, his brother Bruno walks in and says, this is one of the family relatives that I married off. She asked me to bring this to you and convince you to marry her. Dude, what did you do to get this famous? Liam's like, nothing much. I just took care of the evil dragon. Bruno's blown away by how popular Liam's gotten. Next, the scene shifts to when Liam and his friends head out into the forest. He uses a magic portal.